to episode 40. This episode's brought to you by Gwop.com. Gwop.com/podcast. Download every episode of Blunt Talk with LT. And, you can watch every episode on Gwop.com/Blunt Talk with LT. Watch all the videos. This episode's also brought to you by The Infatuation. The Infatuation is an app for finding food restaurants on the go. It's for the U.S. only. This episode's also brought to you by Anchor. Anchor is the app for podcasting. If you want to start a podcast, go to anchor.fm and start a podcast. All right, so let's begin this episode. Been off for a little bit, some technical difficulties. I'm now going to switch up my my software for my editing these podcasts because this shit is malfunctioning. I had a couple of episodes that one of the cameras were coming across shaky when the camera footage was perfect. There was nothing wrong with the camera. I'm one cameraing this podcast currently. There's only one camera going. Forgot to charge some shits. Fail. But whatever. Yeah, so making a couple of changes, so thus the delay. We're going to double up or triple up on the episodes this week just because kind of slow last week with the episodes. Pretty much what I've been trying to do recently is set up multiple bags because trying to one income, two income it is not good enough. Sometimes you gotta, if you really want to cake up in this type of lifestyle or in this type of life, period, as a young entrepreneur at this time, you need to have multiple bags. You need to have 3, 4, 5, 6 bags, really and truly. You need to have multiple incomes, even if they're passive incomes, and then there's like full-time incomes and other incomes. You just have to have more than one bag. So working on setting up them shits right now. All right, so that's pretty much it for me right now. Not talking too much about me before I get into these fucking topics. What else do I gotta say? Nothing much. We about to get into this shit. Swig of the 2-liter. Got to get that going. All right, so first story of the day: Luke Walton sued with sexual battery. As a Lakers fan, what do I got to say about that? That's the Sacramento Kings problem now. That's not insensitive or anything. This is Luke Walton being sued for sexual battery, which means he's being sued. They want money for some sexual case, which means I don't have any sympathy for anything. I just think that's just some girl wanting some money. I don't know any details about the case, and that's just me being, at this point, we could say ignorant and just, talking shit, but I don't really care. I see you want money in the case, and I just see, okay, you're full of shit. If you're trying to, if he was charged for sexual assault, and they were trying to put him in jail for something, and that I'll be looking at the case a lot different. I'll be like, okay, let me take interest. Let me see what's going on in this case. Maybe he actually did some fucked up shit, and Luke Walton isn't the stand-up guy that we know he is. But sued for sexual battery, like, this is some girl that wants money. Shannon Sharp spoke on this thing happening to him in the past, and, it's unfortunate, and he hopes he gets through it, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, not too much thoughts on that case, but I think it's probably a money grab. I don't see Luke Walton as being R. Kelly. So, well, we never know. I want to see more details come out about this case, but really and truly, as it stands right now, like, sometimes I don't know what people expect from me when they come to my, like, I'm a rapper that has a podcast and people expect me to be CNN. Like, this ain't no left-wing Democratic. Like, no, we ain't doing that. This is just raw, unfiltered thoughts of whatever the fuck I think. All right, next story. What do we go into? Okay, this one, I don't know how to feel about this because I'm just going to stick to the basketball news before I move on to the other news. David Griffin hired as GM of the Pelicans. Are we going to ever get Anthony Davis from the Pelicans now that David Griffin is the GM? Because if Anthony Davis all of a sudden comes to the Lakers or gets traded to the Lakers in a one-sided package, people are gonna look at it and be like, "Yo, David Griffin used to be LeBron's guy." And if Tyronn Lue gets hired as as the coach for the Lakers, people are gonna start looking at the league like, "What the hell?" James Jones, they're already looking at James Jones as working for the Suns. He gave them Tyson Chandler, like he just gave LeBron a gift, but that wasn't even a gift, really and truly. That was releasing some of the veterans that they didn't really need on that team at that time. But still, there's going to be all sorts of conspiracies. But I don't think David Griffin's going to do that, because David Griffin's one of the better GMs in the NBA, and I feel like he's going to try to turn around that franchise. Who they needed some changes in the front office. So getting David Griffin was a good move for the Pelicans. Anthony Davis needs to get the fuck out of there somehow, and the Lakers need to get him somehow. If the Lakers get Kawhi and Anthony Davis, it's a wrap. We already see what Kawhi is doing right now. I'm not going to get too much into the ball talks right now. I'm going to stick to the news before I get to the opinion pieces. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that. I'm more concerned for the Lakers when I hear shit like that, because he could have been a good GM for the Lakers, but nope, the Pelicans got him. Okay, so Russell Wilson's 4-year deal for $140 million makes him the highest paid player in the NFL. We have it on good sources that Sierra was the person that made him, like his woman Sierra made him hold out on the Seahawks and made him see his worth and not be subjected to any little bullshit to try to help the team. Like they're helping him out first. So that's the word right now. I don't know how people feel about that. I don't care how people feel about that. That's good for them. They're bossing up. He's disrespecting Future now and saying, "Future, to get the fuck out of here. We don't need your change." Russell Wilson basically said in a new article that, see, this is why I hate print articles. I really hate print articles, because when I report the news, it feels like, is this even fucking true? This is a print article. I want to hear it out the motherfucker's mouth, or I want to see him say it on screen. But he basically said in this new article that they don't need Future's chump change. This is not verbatim. This is I'm just paraphrasing. They don't need his money, and it does nothing for their family, and they'll be better off, him just raising the child and just moving forward without him. So Future can do whatever he needs to do. We don't really care about him. That's basically, to sum up, the gist of what the fuck he said. And it seems like they're making like boss moves now, and Russell Wilson ain't getting played like a Carlton ass nigga anymore, and he's basically standing up for himself. So that's good. Black quarterback, highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Really and truly, Tom Brady should have probably been the highest paid quarterback from time, but he makes sure that he takes those pay cuts and the Patriots remain winning. Smart strategy. Although Belichick tried to get him the fuck out of there the other year, but still won that Super Bowl. All right, so moving on to news. More pressing news. Remy Ma's under investigation for allegedly punching Brittany Taylor in the eye. Brittany Taylor is this female rapper who popped up on Love and Hip Hop New York. If you don't watch Love and Hip Hop New York, you probably never heard of Brittany Taylor, because I don't know if her music or any of her presence expanded beyond that. Brittany Taylor is a 4'11" girl that likes to talk shit, apparently. And she basically on the internet snitching and saying Remy Ma punched her in her eye and blah, blah, blah. And she's showing some swollen eye. And Remy Ma is about to finish her probation. So, like, she's literally like 2 months away. This is not the type of news that you want to hear. This isn't the type of actions that Remy would take. Remy's, like, she knows better than that. And Papoose is well coaching and always in her ear about these type of things. She has a good team in front of her. I don't believe any of these allegations. I think this girl's full of shit. I feel like this is a serious clout move. I feel like she didn't like Remy Ma because Remy Ma sunned her in the last season reunion or whatever, and she hasn't been on for a while. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I didn't see the video footage. I don't have the insider's perspective of anybody that was at the incident, but the way I look at it from here, fuck it. I don't believe it. Fuck this little girl, this little lying ass girl. We ain't playing that. Remy Ma ain't going back. You're not jeopardizing Remy Ma's probation and possibly, jeopardizing her freedom. Nah, fuck that.
Fuck out of here.
Just take your little punch in the eye from whoever the fuck punched you in the eye and keep it pushing. Because that girl, if you can't fight and you don't have that, don't be talking to everybody like you're that person. Sometimes you got to humble yourself down and sit down. These people, I don't know, man. These Love and Hip Hop people, out of control too much times. Got to get a couple of episodes out. How fucking far am I back? This is episode 40, ain't it? God damn it. Fuck am I doing out here? I've been gone for 13, 14, almost 2 weeks since the last episode. Holy shit. I've been getting hit up. People telling me when's the next episode. I'm like, God damn it. Niggas like me are loafed in. All right. What do we got next? 50. 50's all over the Instagram right now. I should have got this motherfucker's name. He's going on this. I think the report wasn't about this nigga, but he recently has been going in on this staff member, producer, director, or some shit from Power who owes him X amount of dollars, and he's airing him out on Instagram. God damn it. This wasn't part of the article, but this just recently happened. That's why I'm trying to pull this up. But what I'm basically reporting about 50 is the Tierra Marie shit. Tierra Marie has arrest warrants issued for her because she hasn't paid 50, her $50,000 that she owes him. So there's arrest warrants out for her. 50 don't play. That nigga's ruthless. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't forgive. He doesn't give a shit. Oh shit, I'm reading the tweets right now because I'm on this nigga's page. Hold up, let me pull this shit up. Okay. Randall Emmett Films. There we go. This is why I gotta be more prepared. He's going in on this nigga. Let me read the text message right here, or should I just post this shit on the screen? Yeah, let me also post that shit. Do a little extra work with the editing and post that shit. Let me read the messages from this motherfucker. I'm sorry again. I really am. I said I'm sorry, Fofty. Fofty. You didn't spell 50 right. I'm headed to the emergency room. I'm not doing well. Please don't text me anymore. I'm sorry for everything, T. This is too much for me. I'm so hurt. I'm not feeling well. Now my ex is fucking with me again after your post. This is very bad for me on all levels, for going to ER to make sure not having heart attack. Please, 50, no more. Like, what the fuck? Okay, and this is 50's response. Get the fuck out of here, Randall, you You told your girl to say that bullshit because when we had dinner, it was to talk about Eve directing, you fucking loser. Did you tell her you owed me $1 million over 6 years? Keep playing with me and get your fucking head cracked in front of everybody. So 50 doesn't give a fuck. He aired out those text messages. Those were direct from the text messages. They're on the screen currently right now. And he said, fuck you, Randall Emmett Smith. You think I wouldn't find you? You and your little hoe girlfriend talk to us weekly. I want the rest of my money Monday. Like, 50 doesn't give a fuck. He's going in on this person. Doesn't give a shit about this nigga's title or whatever. He owes him money for years. This guy's EFO Films, Power, Season 6 stars in his, what do you call it, bio. Producer of Lone Survivor and hundreds of movies. But you owe 50 money. Gotta pay that shit up, nigga. 50's on niggas ass for the money. Like, he'll make sure, like, he's ruthless. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody's opinion. He's not trying to, pander to anybody's type of shit. That's just fucking funny. That's just funny. They better pay up, though. All right, so, I don't know how I feel about this one. I really don't know how I feel about this one. Okay, we got D Wade and Gabrielle Union they're under fire right now for bringing an 11-year-old child, their 11-year-old son, to Pride Parade. I don't know if it's Gabby's son, but it's like Dwayne Wade's son, one of his sons, is apparently gay. But they brought him to a pride parade, and it's not just about him being gay. It's about him being 11 years old and being exposed to that type of over sexuality that goes on at the pride parades. And they're basically under fire for being bad parents for bringing the child to a pride parade. I don't know what type of pride parade it was, because pride parades, I don't know if they vary. I don't know, because in Toronto the pride parades are extremely raunchy. I don't know if it's anything like that. Personally, I don't know if you shouldn't be doing that, because you wouldn't be exposing an 11-year-old to heterosexual sexuality or over sexuality of that. You wouldn't be bringing them to a burlesque bar or a strip club or something like that where straight people get to see, you won't see stuff like that. So you wouldn't bring an 11-year-old in that environment. So why would you bring them to a pride parade where there's over sexualness of gay people and putting out that sexual, like, you're 11 years old. There's, even if you have those type of confused feelings, or not confused feelings, if you just, those are your feelings, and you're attracted to the same sex, you shouldn't be putting on that type of, like, sex and any of that type of influence shouldn't be involved at that type of age. It's 11 years old. But who am I to talk about someone's parenting? That's what they're under fire for. I just look at it like I wouldn't be doing that shit. Gay, straight, or whatever, you're 11 years old. You shouldn't be exposed to that type of, whatever. Moving on. Or maybe I should get T2 Lovely's opinion on this topic before I move on. She's probably not going to want to come on camera if I just call her in here real quick, but I'm going to do that. Okay, so Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are under fire for bringing their 11-year-old son to the Pride Parade. What do you feel about them bringing their 11-year-old child to a sexualized parade for gayness?
I think it's inappropriate for at that age. But then what would be the appropriate age for something like that?
The age for sexual parades or anything like that to express sexuality and sexual preference, I would think that you would be an age of sexual consent. So I wouldn't think 11 years old would be the appropriate age. You wouldn't bring
To
an
expose that type
You
of
wouldn't bring an 11-year-old to a
environment.
burlesque bar. You wouldn't bring an 11-year-old to a strip club. You wouldn't bring an 11-year-old to any type of environment. If he was a straight 11-year-old kid, you wouldn't bring him to any environment that perpetuated sex.
Right.
So if they're gay, why is that an exception?
What was do we know their intention behind this as to why they brought their 11-year-old son?
Well, there was Gabrielle Union there was pictures of her. She was under fire months ago for like the cross-dressing pictures that he had with him, and the way he was dressing up and doing womanly poses and stuff. But we just figured the kid was gay, and that's pretty much what it was. Like, it was just reported. It's not like Dwayne Wade has multiple kids. It's not his basketball son, Zaire Wade. That kid is probably going to end up in the NBA. But he has another kid, 11-year-old kid. I don't think it's Gabrielle Union's child either. It's just one of Dwayne Wade's kids. But she's like helping raise him or whatever the hell's going on.
Okay.
But
that's just a mess. I guess, okay, so we have to see it from this perspective as well. She's not, okay, this is her first time being a mother. She's only been a mother for like, what, a year now, if that? Hasn't really carried anything in her belly. So,
well, she's been with Dwayne Wade, and she's been like co-parenting for a way longer than just a year.
How long have they been together for now?
They've been for a long time. I can't remember, but from time when LeBron was in Miami. They were together, so that's been
Mm,
from a time. Like,
I don't know. I guess she's learning. I think it's inappropriate, but she still did it. We'll see what happens if she goes next year too.
goes next year to the parade with the
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
after being under that fire and after exposing him
That's
to
how
that
we'll truly
environment.
know.
I don't think they would. Why would they do it? Like, if they were doing it to basically expose the child to, the environment of, the gay community or whatever. If that was their reasoning,
At
they
this,
could see that it was inappropriate, and probably from all the backlash they would see. And I don't know. That's just not.
but what if they're okay? Even if my child were asking about the gay pride parade and that they were interested in going, they would have to wait for a certain age for me to even allow them to go if that's something that they were interested in. So even if he did shed some interest in that's up to the parent to control and moderate. There's no loophole out of it where I can justify it for Gabrielle Union.
Is it just because she may have thought that gay pride was more about sexual orientation, not just about sex per se? Like, doesn't matter. Like, all ages can go. Just if you're gay, you're gay. I don't fucking
That
know. That
again,
makes
that
no
does
sense.
that. Yeah,
Because
there's
gay is
no
all
way.
surrounded by sex. It's not. You're not just.
Exactly what defines it, and
Yeah,
then you're gonna have
but
to explain that.
some people, I don't know. Your sexual orientation is not your identity. You're not just this person, the gay. Like, no, when you're having gay sex, you're gay, but you're not.
So he's
You're
not gay yet.
Well, how you have those feelings, but you haven't had those actions. So
Well, we don't know what kind of feeling she knows.
I don't know how people define themselves.
Yeah, it's
I don't
we're
know.
coming into a confusing time. Well, we'll see what happens next year. I want to see if she is brave enough to go again. I know if somebody were to tell me, oh, like scrutinize me about something that I did for my child, if I was for it, I would do it again despite what other people thought. So I would love to see how she's going to react or whatever she's going to do next year.
We'll see. But it's not a good look. I wouldn't. I don't know. We have, okay, before I end this episode, we have LaMelo Ball getting a ridiculous tattoo on his chest. I'm going to put that up on the screen for everybody to look at. And then there's the edited one where people put an L over the chest because they're not approving of the tattoo. It's kind of weird and random, to be honest. I'm looking at it right now on my phone. Shit's weird. It's also on the screen for y'all. We're going to hand LaMelo the L. Let me know in the comment section, and that's it for Blunt Talk with LT. It's been episode 40. Episode 41 on the way. StackWap.com. Yerp.